Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. I am your host, James. I'm glad to be here with all of you guys here today. If you're new here to my channel, please remember to like, subscribe and comment to my channel as it helps a bunch. And with that being said, let's get on with today's episode, shall we? Okay, so today I'm talking about this unfortunate situation that this woman has found herself in as of late. So we all know the two biggest movies to come out of this year were Oppenheimer itself and also Barbie. Both movies came out the same day, made a shit ton of money. In fact, right now, as of yesterday, Barbie is now the highest grossing movie of 2023 so far, which is insane because I didn't think this movie would even become close to being the highest grossing movie of this year, or any year for that matter. When I first heard about it, I was like, Barbie movie? Really? Live action? Like, oh god, how's this gonna look? It's gonna be cringy. You know, no one's gonna take this, not seriously, but no one's gonna enjoy this movie or want to see this movie. But it shows how much I know because I was actually wrong, and now the movie is one of the most popular movies of all time, or at least of this year so far. But fair play to it, it proved me wrong, and I'm happy to be wrong because, you know, I'm glad this film did well for the people who enjoyed this movie and the people who worked on this movie for the matter. So if you're familiar with the meme Barbenheimer, then you know why this funny, but the story is funny. Because this woman, her name is Barba Oppenheimer, and she's even a famous relative of Oppenheimer himself. However, her name has caused a few problems for her as of late because of the trends of Barbie and Oppenheimer being, well, not the trends, but the trend itself, the name, but also the box office release of the movies. And with the woman claiming that people don't take her seriously because of her name, which is understandable, as you would expect. And of course, both these movies were released on the same day, and then people got really creative and started putting both the names together, creating Barbenheimer, Barbenheimer, which I found quite funny. I never really thought about it. I was like, okay, yeah, I get it, that's cute, you know, whatever. But I was like, it will never take off. And once again, I was wrong. It did take off, and it began to be a huge thing. And even to now, people are still quoting it, calling it Barbenheimer, making up memes and whatnot. So it goes to show you, don't estimate the power of the internet. But not only did this movie cause a huge surge in moviegoers, but it became like a viral phenomenon that led to fans merging the two names and crossover art about Barbenheimer. Well, studio execs have been elected by the response with the two movies, Barbie making over $1 billion and at the box office. The same can be said, unfortunately, for the woman Barba Oppenheimer. In fact, this woman, who's a former health scientist, or science professor, has said that people are not taking her seriously and do not believe her when she tells them her name. That's going to be annoyingly frustrating and incredibly awkward as well at the same time. So the Miss Massachusetts woman had one employee crushing her when she checked into her recent, hotel or whatever, on holiday. She told the Slate that, when I checked in at the hotel, I said, Barbie Oppenheimer. The guy said, are you pulling my leg? Even her friends had been getting involved with the meme, with Oppenheimer's loved ones teasing her about her trendy name. I had college friends around the world texting me that weekend when the movies came out, with the whole streamer, you know, the bomb and the bombshell, she joked. Although she admits it's pretty funny, she actually said that it had a deeper impact on her because her husband is actually a distant cousin of the famous physicist, whatever you want to call him. Being a scientist herself, Oppenheimer was eager to see the Christopher Nolan biopic when it hit cinemas, as in most of us. Because I knew nothing about Oppenheimer. I didn't even know he existed. Hell, I didn't even know Oppenheimer was a person. I thought it might have been a thing or whatever. But I watched the movie, jam-packed audience, and it was a really great movie. And for once, I don't regret going to see a 3-hour movie in the cinema. so that's something. She thought that they did a good job with the movie. It gets into the moral dilemmas that Oppenheimer faced. She explained, while adding that the movie was also very compelling, which I agree, it was very compelling. I was glued throughout the whole 3 hours of the movie. And when it ended, I was like, wow. Okay, it kind of like sits with you a little bit when the movie's finished. It's like, okay, the movie's finished, let's get up and go, you know. It's like, you sit there for a second, and you just sort of like soak it in from what you've witnessed throughout this 3 hours. And it sort of stays with you for a couple of days, at least it did with me. And it sort of makes you want to go down like a wormhole on like documentaries, books, interviews, podcasts, whatever you can find, anything to do with Oppenheimer. And, you know, the stuff related to Oppenheimer, such as the atomic bomb and whatnot. So the movie did a really good job in making me invested in it, and I couldn't say more good things about the movie. And the cast were phenomenal, you know, and I can't wait to see what Christopher Nolan does next in terms of directing and who he works with next. And yeah, just excited to see what comes next with Christopher Nolan, and also interested in seeing how other people react to this movie who have not seen it. You know, some people have not probably gone out to cinema to see it, even though it was a worldwide phenomenon. But some people was like, oh well, I might catch it on streaming, I might catch it on when it comes on Blu-ray or DVD or whatever it may be. Some people have that mentality, unfortunately. But for once, I agree with people when people say this is a movie you should see in the cinema. You could argue any movie is hit or miss. Oh, okay, I'll catch it on streaming. I'll catch it on Blu-ray. No, this is a movie that you really should see in the cinema with a large group of people if you can, and really take in the atmosphere that you get when you watch this movie. Because, in my opinion, it's unlike anything I've probably witnessed in the history of my cinema-going experiences. That might be a tad bit overselling it, but that's just how I personally feel. So with that being said, thank you all for listening to this episode. Until next time, take care, stay safe, and I'll see you guys soon.